So in this lecture we are going to be talking about the pre-connection attacks. So previously, as you know, you already know I think how to install Kali Linux and all of this, because we are gonna use Kali Linux. And if you don't know how to install Kali Linux, just a simple Google search will get you all the results. It's pretty easy. So just install Kali Linux on your virtual machine, or you can use any machine, that doesn't matter. So in this lecture we are going to dive into straight hacking. So it's going to be a basic section or basic lecture. So we are going to visit some basics that you already know, and I'm going to show you how to extend it and build up the information that you know. For example, I'm going to show you how to change your MAC address manually, so you will be able to change the MAC or any device that support that, and without the need of any optional tools. You will use it in a simple couple of commands and it will be changed. And I will show you how to extend all the pre-connection attacks so that you can target networks and clients that use like 5 gigahertz etc. And see, finally you are going to extend the authentication attacks, and so you will be able to run it against multiple device and multiple network all at the same time. Not only that, but you will be able to target all devices and all networks around you and manage all of this connection and control them. So throughout this lecture I am going to be using Kali Linux machine as my hacker machine, and it's going to be installed as my virtual machine. As you can see, you can install it as a main machine, that doesn't really matter. And whatever or whenever I run the wireless attack, I am going to be using a wireless adapter, because my PC is connected on a direct Wi-Fi network, as you can see in here. So I am going to use a wireless network. So if you have a LAN network, then as you can see you can find those LAN network. You will be seeing those LAN network under this one here. As you can see, Ethernet, this one is mine. So now I previously talked or described or demonstrate how to use Kali Linux and connect a wireless adapter, and in general it's pretty easy, and I think you already know how to do that. So let's go to now this virtual machine, and now we'll bypass the blacklist or whitelist and how to hide your identity by changing your MAC address, and we'll see how to do that using a tool. So in this video I want to show you this way without any tool that can change your MAC address within this command. So this method we are going to be talking about doesn't need any program to be installed on the system. You can use it in a native ifconfig in your Linux machine. As you can see, I have already done this. So first you just type ifconfig, it will give you all the network, connected network, and this is my connected network. As you can see in my MAC address, as you can see, my previously my MAC address was this. So what you have to do now is you have to configure this MAC address, and you want to change this MAC address, and then what you have to do is you have to put this interface down. So just typing this down, it will disconnect your disable your network from this machine. So after that you just type this ITH0, this one is my this connection network, and just type HW ether, and this is for the right. So we have given it the interface that we want to modify its properties, and we are going to tell that we want to change this hardware and we want to change the value of the ether property. So you can see that MAC address is shown up in here as ether. So we will change this ether. So I want to change this ether and we want to set the MAC address, right? So you can just type any MAC address that you want. So I will type a random one. So after just typing this, just and press enter, as you can see it will not show any problem. Then after that, what you have to do now, as your internet is down, you cannot check your MAC address. So what you have to do now is you have to up your internet or up your network connection in this machine. So just type up, as you can see, if config utilizer up, and it will be all up and connected. So after that, just type ifconfig to check the IP address again. As you can see, my IP or my MAC address or ether address is already been changed to this one, which previously was this one. So as you can see, it's pretty easy and you can do it manually with just a couple of command line. And you can use it on a different Linux system, or so you can also use this on a Mac changer and optional software, which is you have to use a little bit more steps, but I think this is pretty easy to change within the command line. As you can see, it's just only one line that you have to type to change this MAC address. So without installing any optional software, you can just do it this in natively. And so that's all about how you can change your MAC address in here on command line. So for everything we have done, we didn't need to connect to any network to do it. So the good thing about connecting to a network is that you will be able to launch more powerful attacks and get more accurate info when you connect to it. Now if the network doesn't use encryption, so if it's an open wireless network, you can go ahead and connect to it, and then you can escape, so you can sleep on encrypted data. So if the network is a wired network, then you can connect to it using your wire, or you can try after you connect to it with the wire. Maybe you need to change your MAC address to something else so that you can connect to the main problem. But the problem is that if the network uses encryption such as web WPA or WPA2, we have seen if we try to sniff the data and the data will be encrypted, and if we want to decrypt it, then we need to know the key, and if we know the key, then we can just connect the data and that will be encrypted. Anyway, that's the main purpose of this lecture, is that if you target your network that uses some sort of encryption and you cannot really do anything more now unless you decrypt or find the key, so that you can decrypt the data and connect to the network. So we're going to talk about how to decrypt web WPA or WPA encryption. So the first encryption that we're going to talk about is WEP or web cracking or web breaking. It is going to be a web encryption because it's the oldest one, is the easiest one to break, but we still don't know or still need to learn how to break it, because you will see networks that still use web application with encryption uses an algorithm called RC4. Each packet is encrypted at the access point and then it's sent to the air. So once the client receives it, since the client has the key, it will be able to decrypt the packet and read the information that are all inside. So very simple. Apply the IP encrypt and the packets and send it to the client to receive it. then the client has the key, so the client then decrypts it. Same way, when the client sends the packet, it encrypts it and decrypt it and send it to the air. The clock and the access point then receives it. The access point has the key, so it will decrypt the package. So each packet I sent into the air has a unique key stream and ensures that the key stream is unique using a 24-bit initializing vector. So the initializing vector is a random number. It's sent into the packet and it's sent into a plain text. So this part is not encrypted. So if you read a packet, and you'll be able to read it a plain text. But the problem with this is the IP or the initialization is very short. It's just 24-bit and it's not that long. So in a busy network, there will be a very large number of packets that are sent into the air. This means the number of possibilities of random IPs will be exhausted, and we will have two packets that have the same initializing vector. So the initializing vector is 24-bit random key. It's sent into the air in each packet, and it sends into a plain text as a plain text in a busy network. So we are going to have a very large number of packets. This means that the possibilities of unique IPs will be exhausted, and then we will be able to sniffing this all those packets, and we will be able to collect those packets who have the same initializing vector. So once we have two packets and they have the same initializing vector, and then it will be use a statistical attack to determine the key stream, and after that it will be determine the web key. Okay, so from the above we know that the more IPs are initialization vector that we collect, the more likely that we will be successfully to crack the web key. So our main goal when we try to crack web is to collect as much as IPs as we can, because once we have a large number of IPs, then we are going to have like two packets, then we will use the same IPs, then it sends the air to crack the packet, and which is more likely able to determine the key stream and the web key for the targeted network.